John, you want to lead us in an invocation of that?
Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight, Lord, and just to praise your holy, precious name for everything you do in our lives, Lord. We just ask you to be with us as we make decisions for the city, Lord, and just keep a hedge of protection around our community. These things we ask in your holy, precious name. Amen.
Misty, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll convene our meeting. We'll start with roll call. Misty Cottle.
Here.
Jeff Upton. Here. Jan Throgmorton.
Here.
Marty Lindaberry.
Here.
John Collins.
Here.
Dina McKnight.
Here.
Don Rollins.
Here.
Our city attorney and city clerk are both present. We have an agenda before us that was mailed out. Do we have any changes?
Anthony's here also.
Oh, Anthony, I'm sorry.
I'm here too.
Anthony Foster is present.
Present. I know.
Could be the whole meeting.
It's gonna be a long night.
Back to the adoption of our agenda.
I'll make a motion, we approve it as.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve it. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next is the approval of our meeting minutes from February 11th. Do we have any changes or motions concerning the meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Next is our public forum. Do we have anyone from the public that would like to address the council tonight? Brian, you're it. Okay. We'll close the public forum and move into our business reports. Up first is Walter Harnish with the Planning Commission report.
Good evening. So we had a real easy meeting. We just had 3 lot splits. One was a no-show, so we tabled that for the next 2 meetings so they can show up to one of those or they'll have to refile. And then the other 2 were real straightforward. One was the lot there right next to Arvest that they're splitting off, and I guess it's going to be a tobacco store, possibly some kind of commercial space, but they split off the front corner, and who knows what they'll do with the back half. But yeah, pretty easy meeting. I'm getting ready to move forward on working our Title 15 with Juliet Ritchie. So yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
No questions for Walter? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Next is a court report. Tracy?
Good. I guess we missed some days for some little different things. But our disbursements were still up quite a bit from January. So we were at 33,000 instead of the 24,000. But looking at last year, we're down a lot from last year still at this time. Anyway, but a lot of people have been coming in. It's tax refund time. So we're thankful we've been trying to do collections as much as we can. Other than that, I guess things are going smooth.
Any questions for Tracy?
Who gets a refund?
So get to, not me.
The state, right? It goes into the funds and then it's split, or is it?
People are paying their fines because they're getting their tax refunds.
I know, but how did they, I understand why you. How the money, where the money
No,
goes.
I'm just joking about how do you
Yeah,
get
who
a
gets a
refund?
refund,
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you, Tracy. Next is our library report. Shannon Marie.
Hello.
Hi.
So I was happy to see that even though we were closed for a while, strangely, in February, our numbers have started going back up. We're really excited that even though we could not have the workshop for learning how to take care of wooden items in your kitchen last month, it got moved to this month. And next month, we have someone who used to make cheese professionally. She's going to come and do a cheese making workshop on April the 16th. So we're really excited about that. We've got a lot of fun programs coming up for spring break. So check out our calendar. And also, last month, Mayor Cottle got 3 questions. We've had 1,000 views. Sorry, not 100. I had a typo. On Facebook and 3 views on YouTube, and we've got several more questions coming up this month. So
Some good ones
tune
this
in on Friday. Yeah, quite a few actually. depending on how you want to break it down, 6 to 9. So tune in on Friday at noon, and we'll also have it up on Facebook afterwards and on YouTube. Anyone have any questions?
No? All right, thank you, Marie.
Easy place, thank you.
Next, police report, Chief Halliburton.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. We had 276 calls for service in the month of February. We wrote 36 citations, gave out 31 warnings. We had 1 ordinance violation. We served 42 warrants, had 2 felony arrests and 4 misdemeanor arrests and 2 property complaints. That's it for statistics. We had at Celeste, we had the Cordero decertification, but we found out Monday that he voluntarily gave it up, so we didn't have to go to Little Rock this morning. Just want to draw attention to the progress at Mecca and 71. They have been compliant with everything I've asked them to do. They've drastically reduced their inventory, and they're starting to put prices on there on all the functioning vehicles that are for sale, so they may be able to see you at some point. Maybe wondering about the facial hair. This is Mustache March for the police department. So everybody has voluntarily shaved their beard off, and we're going to see who has the best mustache at the end of the month, and we're going to post the winner on, let the people on Facebook decide who's the winner. All right, that's all I've got.
Okay. Any questions for Chief? No? All right, thank you, sir.
Don't be afraid to vote for Chief.
Keith, why didn't you get in on that?
I wasn't invited.
This is our inaugural year. It's a test run.
Next, Public Works. We're missing Isaac tonight. Isaac has been busy. I don't know where he's at. Mowing. So he's got a lot going on, Don. You probably noticed water loss is through the roof.
Only halfway.
Yeah. So they're battling that, among other things. I guess we'll go ahead and discuss it while we're here. So last meeting, there was some discussion. I know after the meeting, Dina had a question about the bridge and moving the utilities, and with that being such a large bill, how are we going to afford that? Isaac and Christie have reached out to RDOT on some of that issue, and I'll let Christie explain what we've come up with.
I actually heard from them today. They've asked for our last 2 years of audits, so they can start looking at our financial situation. So RDOT has in-house financing that they can do up to 20 years, but it's all based on need. So until they look at our finances, they won't be able to tell us exactly what we would qualify for, but it's 0% interest. And we wouldn't have to start making payments on it until the bridge was actually complete. So the work that we are going to have to do, I believe, has to be done by April of next year. So we would get that funding and we'll get our stuff done, but we wouldn't have to actually start making payments on it until after the bridge is complete. So I'll keep everybody posted when I hear back from them. I think we're looking, you might know better on this heat, but I think we're still looking at like 1.1 million. And I think some of that is stuff we're gonna do in-house to get it down, but we probably will still shoot for being able to finance that amount. If we don't need it, we could always turn it back.
But the key to that is 0%.
I'd like to get on some of that.
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
I think we need.
Yeah, so I think that will answer that question, that will solve that problem, the fact that we can get that 0% financing on that. Isaac's still going to try to cut that cost some, doing some in-house work instead of hiring contractors. He has a couple of other projects that he's going to put in conjunction with that. So he's actually looking to get started on it rather quickly. I don't know what that means in Isaac's world, but sooner rather than later. And we might even get rid of some I&I with that project. So could kill a couple birds with one stone. Trying to think, is there anything else major? We have the dump truck. Do we have it in Tulsa yet? No. Okay. But we have
it in use.
We have it in use. I think that was about it.
I know they have fixed multiple large leaks this month, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. It looks like, from him watching meters, we have decreased usage some, so we're hoping that that'll show up some this
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, so one of them we fixed, I know was a 2-inch. I don't remember where that was at, but they're after it. All right, next, Parks report. Director Harrison. Hang on just a second, let's check out Goggins' mustache.
He's losing. Well, we've been really busy as well. Thankfully, the weather finally turned off nice, and we've been trying to get a lot of stuff accomplished. We were able to get the parking lot project at Carter. The gravel lot has been it's completely finished, striped. I'll say completely. We got to do a little bit of work, gravel work around the edges, but the lot is open. It's nice, functioning well. So we've had some other facility projects at Carter that we tried to squeak in as well. We've had some lighting repairs, and we had put in a mini split at the concession stand bathrooms, and it's kind of just got squeaked in. In fact, they were finishing some of them as we were playing ball games down there, but they are completed now. So high school's off and started, and it's been a good start so far. They got lucky with the weather. We're both playing down there right now. And then the Parks Committee did meet last week, but it was late enough in the week, too late to get any minutes in the packet. Our main subject was the 4th of July event, so we did set a date. It will be on July 3rd this year. We talked about vendors and food trucks and things like that. We're going to look at adding 3 or 4 more food trucks because it went over so well last year, and our food truck vendors were overwhelmed, and they talked to us. Well, I have talked to all of them, and I haven't scheduled them, but they all told me when we got a date, they were in. They wanted to go again, so they were really happy with what it was last year, and we'll come back. So we'll work on finding a few more to add to it. And then the other thing is just our ball season. I've been working on sign-ups. It's really been a little disappointing this year. Our numbers are down. We've done probably more than we've done in the past in trying to get the word out there and extended our deadline even further than we have in the past. And I don't know, I'm just not getting the sign-ups. There's a couple ages I'm trying to come in, but I think we're going to settle in somewhere around 215, and we're usually in the 250s, 260 range. So we're down on average 40, 45 kids. Some of that's, I know some of that, a lot of it's in the younger ages, and I know that's where the school's struggling as well right now in their classes with lower classes and stuff. So I kind of expected to start to see a decline, but it just kind of shocked me that it was in 1 year. It may bounce back next year, but I've just about got them all organized. I got a WCCL meeting to get that stuff turned in them. I had my coaches meeting. They'll get their rosters and stuff later this week, and we'll start practicing. And so it's going to be even busier. But yeah, it's fixing to be. We've mowed the field, we mowed the common areas down Carter today, and that's fixing to kick in. So we'll be balling grass for a while. So, but that's about all I got. If you get down there, take it. Yeah, get that way, drive by and look at the new parking lot. It turned out really nice. It's a very nice addition to that complex for sure.
Any questions for Chad? Do we know, Chad, I've been meaning to ask Isaac this and keep forgetting, have we talked to the railroad at all to see if they're gonna address that once they're finished?
Yeah, if you want to say talk to him a few times, yes. And I don't know that, how much heat we have to make him do anything, but he has talked to him about, now, he did talk to him about the streets and stuff, that he can make them clean up where they were coming in and stringing dirt up from their tires and this and that. He did, and they did clean some, maple and some of that up. But yeah, he's been on, I mean, it's.
I just keep seeing those ruts
It's
that,
their right away, but if they want us to keep mowing it, they're gonna have to come in and do some repairs for sure. But yes, I do know Isaac has been in contact with him and let him know. He talked to someone down there and told them they probably should come up and look at the mess they're making, so it's someone higher up.
yeah.
So,
Good. Okay. All right,
okay?
thank you, sir.
One last thing,
Oh.
Pete Ridge came here and played, and they said how awesome our fields are, facilities and everything, you know, compared to theirs, and I was like, yes, ours is very nice.
They are. And Leslie's been going and walking with the weather, and she said the parks are packed with people.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really, both parks, and it wasn't this week even, I think it was one day last week, and it was nice, there was a kid in there swimming, there was people laying out, yeah. Yeah, that's when it was even getting down, you know, still in the 20s at night, and then, you know, 60 during the day, and some kid was down there just in the river.
Yeah, she just
There was
commented
really not-
on how nice it was to see so many families, whether they're walking or
Yeah.
playing on the courts or whatever.
Yeah, people are eager for spring.
Yeah.
I bet that's going to be a
All right,
sir.
thank y'all.
Next, fire department, Chief Howard.
Good evening. None of them will make firemen, though, will they? The mustaches.
Blaine's got them all beat right now. Busy month. For the short month of February, we had 88 total calls, which was, once again, 22 more runs than we had last year. So we're averaging 22 calls a month more than what we had last year. 9 of those were fires. Had several very bad wrecks out on the interstate. So just caution everybody, yes, it is springtime, but it's still slick out there at times as well. So other than that, inspections and everything are going really, really well. Travis has made a huge dent in that list. He is currently down in Hot Springs at the State Fire Marshals Convention, doing some networking and learning the new codes that are coming out this year. So he's doing a really good job of that. I've been proud of his efforts on it. But that's about it for me.
Any questions for Chief Howard? Okay, thank you, sir. Next, treasurer's report. Christie.
I don't like doing these reports first couple months of the year because it really looks bad.
A couple of them were really bad.
Yeah, our bank
Chief?
balance, our bank balances have decreased by about 80,000 this year, but we have had some very large purchases. Chad's budget's about the only one that looks really good, and I got an $80,000 invoice from him, for him today for his parking lot, so next month his will be shot too, so. I have faith that it will even out and look better later in the year. Our sales tax still is higher this month than I expected it to be, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that that's a new trend also. We're up 18% this year from where we were this time last year. The water department's numbers are looking a lot better. Bringing on Homestead has definitely helped. If we can get the water loss down, that's going to make a huge difference also. They are currently under budget by about 112,000. And if you look at the sewer income versus expenses this year, we are about $10,000 better this month than we were this time last year. So I have faith that we'll continue to see that number be positive this year. The only other thing I have is I hope everybody got the email that I sent out yesterday. And I want to summarize it real quick. The state legislators meeting currently, and they have a bill getting ready to go before them that would allow quorum courts to have the ability to put an initiative on, I don't know if that's the right word, on the ballots that would allow them to keep their portion of city sales tax. So for us, this year, we're estimating that we're going to get about $615,000 worth of sales tax, county sales tax. My understanding, and Tom, please jump in if I'm wrong on this, my understanding is currently, if you go to the store and purchase something, you're paying a state sales tax, a county sales tax, and a city sales tax. That county sales tax goes to the county, and then it's distributed based on either population or what was collected within those cities. Not 100% sure on that, but money's distributed back to the cities that some of that sales tax came from. And this initiative would allow quorum courts to decide that they want to keep that money and be able to put that on a ballot initiative and to get a vote on. The other scary thing about that is if their ballot initiative doesn't pass, they can turn around and put it back on there next time, and the next time, and the next time, until they get what they're looking for. So we have, Municipal League's been really good to kind of keep us posted on what's going on. They do think that that's going to go before the legislator as early as tomorrow. So if you haven't had a chance to send some emails to those lists of people that I gave you, please do so. It would be detrimental to small cities. I think it would be detrimental to relationships between cities and counties. But definitely the small cities of all of Arkansas would be hurt badly by it. So please take some time to send out some emails and let them know that we would like them to vote no on that. That's all.
Thanks a lot. Any questions for Kristen? What do you got, Tom?
You will get pushback. I'm starting to see some of the responses to the city officials that are emailing there, especially Senator Bryan. I haven't seen one from Hester yet, but I think we will see one. You're going to see something that basically says, oh, you're wrong, it's not what you think it is. But it is. I just read it again just to make sure. Basically, the county will have an election to change the distribution. And right now, if you think about what do you buy in rural territory that's outside of the city limits?
Nothing.
What does the county service in the city?
All right. And what the county will say is, we pay for the jail and the courthouse. You got to have both, and that's true. It's true. So when county sales tax became an ability of the county to do, it was really clear all the taxes being collected in the cities that are in the county, and also the people who vote are pretty much going to be mostly the cities in most counties, not all. And so per capita, it's per capita. So you take it and you divide it, you find out the population of the rural area and the population of each city. And what's happened in the counties is the cities have grown steadily, right? So fewer people in counties, more people in cities. We can talk about why that is. Cities are really good places to live. You know, they're really good for, I think that's been well established now for a couple thousand years. Cities are good for a lot of things. Not saying it's wrong to live in the county. It's wonderful. The rural areas are gorgeous. But cities are where everything that you need can happen and where innovation occurs, and libraries. So having said all that, you're going to hear that it's just not true. Well, what will happen is they could have the election to change the distribution so they keep all of the money from the city sales tax, county sales tax. Now, West Fork has a sales tax, but it's only collected in West Fork. That's it. Fayetteville has sales tax, it's only collected in Fayetteville. State sales tax, 6 1/4, is collected across the whole state. The county sales tax is collected across the entire county. I'm just looking at January numbers, I think from last year, $55,000 in January would be West Fork's portion. And that's, so it's monthly, right? And it goes up and down, of course. I don't have the total. I was hoping to find a total, but there's somewhere the yearly totals of what, that money is. The other thing, so you'd lose that much money, and the county would get all of that money. And idea is they would, build jails and keep the courthouse up and that kind of, and road operations and such. The last thing it does is it says you can never use county sales tax money to support bond payments again. Bond payments are what allow cities to leverage sales tax that you're going to get for years and years, take that money, get it loaned to you now. There's no city in Arkansas that has never failed to pay back a loan on a bond, literally never in the history of the state. And they are almost always paid off early or refinanced so that you can use, that's how you get that money for capital improvements. That's how you build things and fix things. And this would prohibit us from ever using that income again. And the reason is because they know that they can't change the distribution if there's a bond relying upon that money. So they make that illegal in the future. It's something that the counties try and do most sessions. It's never gotten this far. So there's a belief that they have the momentum to maybe get it passed.
So we wouldn't get any county money, just the city money? And how much of the city money do we actually get?
We have 3% sales tax.
And
So it's about $1.2 million
a
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
What percentage of
The
the county?
county is 35% of
So
our sales
we get
tax.
35% of county?
Well, no,
Of our budget.
yes, the county sales tax for us is 35% of our current budget.
Okay.
And just to be clear, I don't think it's Washington County that is putting forth this initiative. I may be wrong, but this is a state initiative. This is happening at the state level. I don't necessarily know that Washington County or any of their administrators are pushing for this. I don't know that any of them are saying no to it, but I don't think it's a Washington County initiative. This is a state thing that's going to affect every city and county in the state.
It can devastate every city and
Yeah.
county, every small town for sure.
Certainly. Certainly.
And they can annex us into theirs,
Well,
which is what they'll do. They'll start annexing.
some of what's going on is, you think about this, the county's budget essentially shrinks a little bit each year. The city of West Fork annexes a little bit more land, and the county's no longer responsible for it. So their budgets are getting smaller, but their work is getting smaller. Other than the work of maintaining a jail and a courthouse, that's getting more and more, right? We're seeing more people, a need for that. So they're fighting the struggle. There was talk a couple of years ago about the county trying to increase the county sales tax in Washington County to help fund the new jail. So it's a process.
I'd rather pay a little more for the taxes than I would to lose our funding for our city.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
So
I mean, tack on 0.5% or something. I'd rather do that.
this group of state legislators are,
like nothing we've ever seen.
they truly are. They are busy.
And they're convinced that no matter what they do, you will vote them back in. There's not a thing they can do.
And there's been several bills come forth that, in particular, target cities, whether it's, Washington County's been really good for the last two administrations anyway, of saying, hey, this is in the West Fork planning area. West Fork decides if this is a go or a no-go, right? They'll kick it to us to decide because it's in our growth area. One of the bills in particular is saying no more. County is in charge of that growth area. So I don't know what's got into this group of legislators at the state, but
They're losing it.
they're busy.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The reason that they target cities is because we're really, really good at things. So if you've ever watched what happened in district court fines, you guys have been around for long enough to see, I don't know if she's still here. It used to be that if you charged someone a fine for speeding for $50, the city got $45 or so, and a little bit of money went to the state. Now, the minimum fine is $110, all of which goes to the state of Arkansas, and which is distributed mostly back to the county to run the jail. in the courthouse. In other words, everybody that goes through circuit court on a felony gets fined. They collect 0 of those fines, right? Those fines don't get collected. The city, we're darn good at getting our fines, aren't we? Right? I mean, it's because we're efficient. You follow up with them, you issue FTAs, you get them in here, you figure out a way to get the fine money. And so the state saw that about 20 years ago and began to increase their fees more and more, so that now a city can't really have a fine on a speeding ticket because it would make it so unaffordable that, because you're already a minimum 110. Am I wrong about that number? Is it 110? I think it's about what it is now.
For which part?
Court
Like,
costs?
on it, this, our court cost is 95. Well, it's $75 plus a $20 jail fee, or county fee.
So, and all the judges are now state employees. Every one of them. So you see, you took the circuit judges, you made them state employees, you made their staff state employees. So now the cities pay for that through those court costs. And so now the same thing has happened with, the cities themselves, their sales tax. The cities are really good at passing them and then leveraging that money. And so the state has come after that. That's my take.
Thank you, Christie. Might as well not get too comfortable. So we're going to move, we don't have, yes, we do need a procedural motion to move forward. We do have a couple ordinances on the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read by title only our 2 ordinance
Yes.
motions on the agenda for tonight. So we have a motion
Second.
and a second for that, okay? So that's going to be Misty Cottle,
Yes.
Jeff Upton,
Yes.
Jan Throgmorton,
Yes.
Marty Lindaberry,
Yes.
John Collins,
Yes.
Dina McKnight,
Yes.
Don Rollins,
Yes.
Anthony Foster.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that motion passes. The next item of business is old business, the Verizon contract. So we talked about that last month, that Verizon had came back, and we decided that we wanted to talk to Verizon about that contract, get a little bit more information. The details are a little sketchy to me as to what we got.
Me too. Isaac did get a higher offer. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was also going to include a yearly for every 3-year increase or something like that. They sent him the paperwork but didn't get the changes in it, so he sent it back. So we still don't have the actual paperwork
Okay.
yet. But they did agree to an increased lease amount.
And so, don't hold me to these numbers, but I think where we ended up was, if we sign the contract, because they have not moved on it in the past 4 years, 5 years, they will pay us a $4,000 upfront fee, and then they will pay us, I believe it's $750 instead
That's what I
of
wanna say.
$600, $750 a month, so an extra $150 a month on the contract. So we'll dive into that more when we get the contract, but we have made some headway with that, and that'll come before you guys to approve or disapprove. Disapprove, not approve. What is it, Ian? You teach school.
Don't put me on the spot.
All right. So, can we get a motion to table that until
Make a
another?
motion to table.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table the Verizon contract. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. Item D, new business. We requested RFQs for engineering services. That's a request for qualifications. We have several engineering firms that replied to that request. There's a list in your packet. Christie, do we need to do anything with that, or?
I would say we just need a motion to approve the CK Civil Engineering.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve CK Civil Engineering as our engineering of record. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. So we've been with McClellan for a long time, and we've put out a new request, and we're moving to a different one. That's all there is to that. Well, we're getting a lot better pricing too.
Are we moving because Nick's gone?
I wouldn't say we're moving because Nick's gone.
But it has an impact.
It has an impact, yeah. We got really good service with Nick, without a doubt.
We sure did.
All right, new business item 2, ordinance 2025-530, amend section 1.32, the general penalty of the municipal code. So I'll let the city attorney give an update on that. and
It's just that whenever you have a violation of an ordinance and there's not a specific penalty in that specific ordinance, then you fall back on the general penalty, which is something that the state law gives us a limit for. So that's, I think we're still under the state law's upper limit, but we're within that limit.
Yeah. All right, so you want to read that by title only, and then we'll take a vote.
Ordinance to amend chapter 4.24 occupational licenses of West Fork Municipal Code.
Or 1.32.
1.32, sorry.
Okay.
And all of the occupational licenses, Mayor, you would take a motion to pass.
Make a motion to pass.
We have a motion and second. That's a roll call. Misty Cottle?
Yes.
Jeff Upton?
Yes.
Jan Throgmorton?
Yes.
Marty Lindaberry?
Yes.
John Collins?
Yes.
Dina McKnight?
Yes.
Don Rollins?
Yes.
Anthony Foster?
Yes.
That motion carries. Item 3 of new business is ordinance 2025-531 to amend section 4.24, the occupational licenses of the municipal code.
So, Christie wanted some changes to this one. I wanted to make sure we had that whole, if you don't pay twice in the same state if you only have one place of business.
Are we cleaning that up? Okay.
Yeah, I clarified that, but other than that, any changes I think that Christie wanted to have in there.
Can you go over this?
Yeah, otherwise there was just a typo on
Okay.
the very end of it.
For the most part, we didn't change a lot. The fees are not changing. We did put some wording in there for businesses that are outside the city limits that request business licenses. We actually did that quite a bit because we do have some rural businesses that the state wants them to have a business license. But since they're not in the city, we technically don't give them a business license. So we put some wording in there so that we can issue business licenses for businesses outside the city limits as long as they're in our planning area. So that gives us some control not to have to just give anybody one, but allows us to give some of those businesses that are in our planning area business licenses if they request that. We did do some wording. Our old one was probably done in the 60s or 70s. Stated that only the city clerk could issue business licenses. Our city clerk's not in the office full-time and hasn't done city business licenses in probably 30 years. So we changed that so that basically anybody that the mayor appoints or approves can do that. So basically city offices can take care of that now. And then the other is that we put in there that the fire inspections will be required, which is something that TJ and Travis have been working on. But we are going to make the application process where they have to submit the application. It will then be approved by the Public Works Director to make sure zoning and all that is correct. And then the fire department will do their inspections and approve before the actual business license is issued. Other than that, I think the rest of it's about the same. You're looking at me, but I missed something.
Well, I think we had a little bit more teeth for a business that's out of compliance. Did we not, is that not updated, the fine per day?
The penalties changed a little bit. Did we change the?
Well, yeah, I think it's the general, which is has a fine per day in it.
Yes, I mean, so our general penalty that we had before was much less. That's why we went ahead and updated this one to make that a little bit higher. We have always had it in there that there could be a penalty for every day that they didn't do it, but we haven't enforced that. So that's something that we can definitely begin to enforce with this.
And then we updated the definition of who needs to get a business license.
That is correct. Before it had to be the owner of the business, but we will allow a representative from their city to do it. We changed, or we made an application. We've never had an application before. We just sit down and ask them the questions that we needed and wrote it out. But we have made an actual application so that we will collect the business owner's name, the property owner's name, and then if someone other than that is running the business, we'll have that. So we'll have all of that information now that we have not been collecting in the past.
Christie, does that include the county area and it's in our fire zone?
So TJ's, they're doing their own inspections for that, but it won't, business licenses won't be a part of that. Now, we did in the wording for the people that ask for business licenses that live out, or that are outside the city, we have put in there that they are subject to a fire inspection also. So we would ask TJ and them to look at that before we issue a business license for them also.
Okay.
Any other questions on it? Any motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, no motion and second. Roll call, Misty Cottle,
Yes.
Jeff Upton,
Yes.
Jan Throgmorton,
Yes.
Marty Lindaberry,
Yes.
John Collins,
Yes.
Dina McKnight,
Yes.
Don Rollins,
Yes.
Anthony Foster,
Yes.
and that motion is approved. That ordinance is approved. That concludes our new business. Next is other business. Do we have any other business?
I do.
Yes, ma'am?
I'm getting attacked almost every time I leave my house with my neighbors wanting to know when they're gonna fix the big pothole at the end of our street. I know Isaac's not here, but we have a pothole that's getting pretty deep
Okay,
and it needs some attention.
we will
I
take,
told them I would bring it up.
we will take note of that and get somebody up there with,
At the end of Sycamore?
Yep. Down at the north end.
okay,
Where you turn.
yeah, we'll get somebody up there to get that thing good. Any other business? No? Okay, we'll close that, move into mayor's comments. So listed is just a reminder that April meeting will be on April 15th at 6:30, so that'll be the second, or the third Tuesday instead of the second. Other things I'd like to call attention to is this trophy. I don't know if everybody saw this or not. This is second place at the first annual chili cook-off, and that's really important. But I think even more important is the purpose of the chili cook-off. So I'll let John give a little bit on the purpose. What were we doing with the chili cook-off, and was it successful?
It was, for being the first one. All the proceeds went to pay for delinquent lunches at the elementary. And we raised, actually, $3,700.
$3,700.
Yeah.
Did that pay off all the accounts?
Oh, no,
No.
no, there'll be more.
Okay. Okay. So, still, a good event.
Oh, yeah.
It was, who all was there, John? It was elected officials.
Elected officials, we had 7 of them show up, which you was one,
Second place.
second place. You was second. Didn't win first.
I'm the only trophy in the room. Yes, I did.
But for being the first time we've done it, we had a pretty good turnout, and we appreciate you participating.
Yeah, who else? Who else participated?
The sheriff, the county collector, come on, help me out, the county clerk, the circuit clerk, no, he didn't show up,
The assessor?
the assessor, I didn't count it.
Yeah, I didn't either. But it was a good turnout.
Close enough.
Hey, the treasurer, Bobby Hill,
Yeah.
so, it was fun,
Yeah, it was neat.
it was.
It was really neat. And
And the collector, Angela Wood, won first place.
she won first place. I will say, the mayor and the sheriff brought home second and third.
Yes, yes.
At least you got a second.
That's right. Well, we had to have somebody from West Fork when.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you for,
Absolutely.
now you say, let me tell you how to, his wife showed up with the chili,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
showed up late.
You didn't even make it. Less
Yeah,
than
she
make
said
it.
he did. She said he did.
It's a busy time of year.
So you're saying there's an asterisk beside this trophy?
Hey, it might be.
Right, yeah.
We need to bring this back.
Good job.
I don't think I have anything to add to that, but I do appreciate you putting that on. It was a good event, and it was fun to go.
We did have fun.
Yeah. John and Dan cooked, what was it, 70 pounds of, put 70 pounds of beef.
60 pounds of beef.
In a tub of chili.
In a tub of chili. We had a
And it was
tub.
still edible.
Yes.
It was pretty good.
Yes.
Good event. I don't really have anything else. I appreciate everybody.
Kidding me.
That's amazing.
Hurry.
All I have this month. The department heads are doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job. So, thank you all. With that, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. That motion carries. We are adjourned.
Hey, John.
Huh?